Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Outside the Circle podcast. This is episode 1. I'm your host, Blake Houston, and my co-host here, Alice Kinniston.
Hello. All right. Our goal on this podcast is basically just giving a rundown of everything that goes out in disc golf. Australian disc golf, American disc golf. We're going to talk about highest rated players, battles coming up, who we think are going to win, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly right. I think we should jump straight into it. On the WA disc golf scene, if you don't already know, we're from Western Australia. And as Alex said before, yes, we're looking at disc golf all around, just talking about a bunch of stuff. But we're going to start off in WA disc golf. We have a recent tournament that actually happened a couple of days ago. It was the Fantasy Park Open in Waikiki, Western Australia.
I can give a quick rundown. Me and Blake played some great disc golf. 938. Good job, Blake. Yeah, me and you. No, we didn't play well, but big outstanding Damon Williams, first MPO tournament, took out the win. Ratings were a bit tight. You only got a 970 something for it, but you played a good event. Solid in the wind, very windy.
Yeah. As Alex said, we didn't have the best tournament. We had absolute shockers, but also, as you said, Damon Williams first debut in MPO, and he comes out, shoots a 12 down. I believe, was it a 8 down and a 4 down?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And yeah, ratings weren't good at all. I think he got absolutely robbed because the conditions for round 1 were decent, but then over the lunch break and heading into the afternoon, the conditions just turned so bad that like wind was picking up, the sea breeze was coming in. It was good on a couple of holes, but then it was just putting. Putting was, if you were making your putts, you were shooting hot, and Damon was making his putts every time. I was on chase card. Every time I looked over, he was running in a putt, and he was stoked. So congratulations to him for getting his first win.
Yeah, I mean, some little insight about the wind. Blake Houston, actually. What's it? It's the long version of hole 2. He goes spike highs on like 100-meter hole.
Yeah.
Hangs it out probably a good, 10, 20 meters wide of the pin. And it goes so high, so far left, and it gets caught in the tallest tree. It took him a while to find it. But I mean, yeah, with Damon as well, I managed to get on the league card second round. First round shot 6 under. It was very rough birdie my last 5 holes, but yeah, I got with Damon, and he's putting with these. It's like a slammer crossberg type thing. I don't know where it's from. It's probably like a mint discs or something. He throws a lot of mint discs and some random companies, but yeah, he was just fighting them through the wind.
Yeah, he does love his unusual discs. He throws a lot of discs that not really anybody else does, and he's not the most consistent player, but he's got some good game in him, and obviously, as we saw, he won an MPO tournament. But no, he does throw a lot of weird discs, and the putters are sort of new. He said it was his first. It was either his first tournament or his first round putting with them or something. But no, he was cashing, and especially, and yeah, as you said, like the sort of a slammer type putter. So in that wind, I mean, personally, I wouldn't prefer that, but the stability must be good in the wind. Because the wind was nasty in that second round, and overstable putters probably came in handy.
Very much so. Yeah, so that kind of wraps up the base of the Fantasy Park Open. There was no real outstanding performances apart from that. I mean, we had Mark Shepard in the advanced field, shot like a 5 under first round, which was quite good, fighting the wind. And yeah, I'll say that's it for Fantasy Park. We had some funny event come out at the end. It was so strong in the wind, we took the pegs out of our PDGC tent, Perth Disc Golf Club tent, and it flies like 100 meters down the road and slams into a dude's car and leaves a huge dent in it. So there's paperwork done and stuff for that, and the little payment because yeah, left a nice ding in the guy's car. So yeah, unusual.
Yeah, just packing up the. I saw that, and you just sort of stand there like there's nothing you can do about it. You're just watching, and it was bad, but it was just out of nowhere. Like the weights came off the bottom of the tent, and the tent just started tumbling down the road, and yeah. So that's a little insight to how heavy the wind was. But before we wrap up the Fantasy Park Open segment, I'll quickly go over a couple of the event winners. Maybe a couple of highlights from the event from both me and Alex. So yeah, Open, Damon Williams with the win. Paul Neusen, the tournament director, 1 stroke behind. I was checking live scores all throughout the round, and that was a pretty close battle. But Damon came out on top of that one. MP40, a name you might know in Australian disc golf. You probably will know in Australian disc golf. Christopher Finn also shooting neg 12, which tied first in Open, but he's playing in the Mixed Pro 40s division, so he can qualify for Wolf Doof World Flying Disc Federation Team World Championships. Also, Corey Bandy in Australian disc golf. You might have heard of the Bandy name. Corey Bandy. He's been making it to the Rockingham leagues at this course, and he's rocked up and he's taken second in the Pro 40s. Mixed Amateur 1, Brendan Bennett, shooting 4 under par, only player to shoot under par in MA1. Women's Amateur 1, Sue Summers, the best female score at plus 12. Pretty consistent across the 2 rounds, so she was able to hold up there in the wind. Mixed Amateurs 40, we have Chris Cahoot and Jason Gill with a tie at plus 12. But looks like, I'm not sure if there was actually a playoff or not, but it's got
Jason Gill. Jason Gill got him in the playoff, yeah.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Okay, so, yeah.
It says here, though, that Chris Cahoot's got the first place, though.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Bad for Jason, that is.
FA 40, Peter Cole at plus 45. MA 50, Scott Caldwell at plus 3. Oh no, never mind. I didn't play with Scotty. I thought I played with Scotty first round. But Scotty, he averaged quite a bit above his rating there for that tournament. Had a bit of an outbreak there, winning the 6-player field in MA50. Mixed Amateur 2, Jonathan Monicus at 3 over par, and in a close second place, Thomas Manders at plus 4. That field had 5 players. FA2 winner Julie O'Donoghue at plus 38. Mixed Amateur 3, David Robertson at plus 8. A couple of players at plus 11, plus 13. Mixed Amateur 4, Joey Derbyshire, plus 9 in MA4. He won that one by quite a bit. He must have had a couple of outstanding rounds there in the win. And in FA4, Claudine Baker at plus 42. Overall, the tournament had 51 players. I believe it was capped at 55. There are a lot of people who don't really want to make the trek down to Rockingham. I mean, it's easy if you live in that area, but the tournament is quite far away for a lot of us.
Yeah.
50 odd. There are a lot of players. Yeah. All right, let's talk about a couple of highlights for us. My biggest highlight was I threw the longest shot of my life. It went 215 meters, Sky Anheuser over all the trees. Tailwind did help me out. That played a big factor, but I was on the one and only par 4. I wasn't playing the best, so I thought I'd sort of launch on one, and it got over all the trees. We didn't think it did, and it flexed out, and it went 45 meters past the basket on a 170 meter par 4. What about you? You have any highlights?
Well, considering I played not a great tournament, I was tied first after the start of the second round with a turkey, and yeah, not too many amazing highlights from me. Best shot was probably I had some like 40-footer and some wind, just kept it up nice and floaty, and yeah, not too much from me, but I had a couple good highlights. Connor Donnelly, he's chained out on hole 6 or something for ace, P2 up the middle. Damon Williams hit the cage on hole 1, and there's a couple throw-ins. I know my brother Toby got a throw-in as well, so yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You just reminded me. I've got to mention Jacob Davies, hole 3 in round 2. He throws a 400 glow PA3. The right to left tailwind looks absolutely pure. Anyway, hits the change dead center and it sort of gets blown out by the wind. So he hasn't got a tournament ace. That would have been his first tournament ace, but that was looking so good, and I don't know how it didn't go in.
I will say I did hit cage on the last temp hole, 18A, skip Sexton Firebird. Yeah, it was just last hole, bit angry, rip it, 50-meter hole.
Yeah. So that'll wrap up our Fantasy Park Open segment. Thank you for everybody for supporting that event and coming along if you did play.
Big shout out TD, that's Paul Nyson. Good event again, runs it every year. Big one.
Everybody
Sponsors,
loves the
MVP Warehouse.
Yep. Everybody loved the presentations as well. Go to King Road Brewing and repping the shirt. Do the Ring of Fire putting competition, bang your putters up against the wall, but everyone loves that. And there's the CTP. Oh, there's your King Road hat there.
It is.
The
Nicely
CTP, it's about, how far is the CTP, you reckon? About 60, 65 maybe? Probably 60?
No. 50.
50, you reckon? You reckon? All right.
It's not far. I was flicking us off tour.
Yeah. Okay, so the sort of footy goals set up, you sort of go over them, but you get one shot and it's just CTP. You win the limited edition Axiom watermelon backpack. There were a couple of close bids, and I step up. I've got my Z Flex Zone. Anyway, I just give it a little flick, and then
I was the closest at the time. I'll say that.
Yes. And then it swings back, it gives it a good bid, and it was so close to going in, but when it hit the ground, it just stuck, and I put it about 2 feet away from the pole, and then after me, nobody managed to get closer. So I walked away with a limited edition Axiom bag, and I got to say, it's pretty cool. Watermelon bag. It's pretty cool. So I guess that was another one of my highlights. Now everybody ordered some food and enjoyed the culture at the presentations. No, it was good. It was good.
Alrighty.
All right. Next.
Gonna move on to something else in the Australian disc golf scene coming up.
Yes. Coming up, we have the 2023 ACT Disc Golf Championships, also known as the Sizzler. So this is in Canberra, hence the name, in the ACT. This is it the first or second major of the year in Australia? It's the first, isn't it? Because Tassie Open wasn't a major.
They got nationals,
ACT Disc Golf Championships, the Sizzler, is the first major in the Aussie Disc Golf Tour. Unfortunately, both of us won't be able to make it to the Sizzler. We'd love to. Everything we've heard about the course looks amazing. And one day I'd like to go play it. I'm sure Alex would too.
Indeed.
I think we should make some predictions for MPO, FPO, and MP40. I'll read
All
through
right.
the player list from the highest rated to the lowest rated on the list. All right, we have Luke Bain, David Perry, Pelly Carlson, Patrick Robinson, Austin D'Alessandro, Jade Brady, Todd Nowak, Tim Bowen, Adam Rigby, Rowan Hosking, Dan Frost, Paul Phillips, Soren Strotop, if I pronounced that correct, Leaf Brody, Ryan Budge, Clayton Beck, Mario Tolberg, Reese Wisniewski, and Hudson Laird. And then I'll quickly make a prediction, and then we'll move on to MP40s. Who do you think?
Right. The open field. Well, always a hot favourite. Bainey, my teammate, team Innova. Yeah, I think he's going to play some good disc golf. I've got a little underdog, Jade Brady, local ACT boy. Put some move on the disc. Yeah, him, Austin, Dan throw their aggressive lines, and I think they've all got a chance in there. Perry, I'd like to see play well. I'm gonna go with my pick. I'm gonna go Dave Perry.
Yeah, I rate that. I think that's a good call.
He's got a big arm with a lot of accuracy. So
yeah. All right. Looking through the list, Austin D'Alessandro was the champ from last year. He's the reigning champ. Beat Luke Bain by 1 stroke. Came down to the last hole, I believe. Bainey couldn't quite hold on to that one. I was watching the PDJ live. As you said, Jade Brady, he's so sneaky. He creeps up on you just with, like he always has in each tournament. There's just one hot round, and it's an amazing round. But he's sneaky. He creeps up on you and he shoots the hot round. And he did that to me at New South Wales Open last year. He just out of nowhere shot the hot round and came and stole 4th place from me. Yeah, there's a couple of names that everybody knows in there. As you said, Luke Bain's probably a good call. He's consistent, sitting at that 1,000 rating. I'm going to go with Patrick Robinson. He at the tournament's at Western Park in Canberra. And
2018 Nationals.
Yeah, a few years ago, Paddy Robinson was the national champ at this course. He obviously has good experience on this course, knows how to play it. I believe a couple of holes might have changed for this, but he's no stranger to this course, representing Geelong Disc Golf. Sitting at the 3rd highest rated player, but I think Paddy's due for a big win.
Yep, it's a fair shout.
Yeah, we'll check back, see what's after the tournament, do a little recap, what happened, if we got our predictions right or not. There is no FPO field. No FPO field. So I guess that's our predictions. Yeah, so for the Sizzler presented by OzDiscs, quick shout out there. Use code Blake23 for 5% off at OzDiscs checkout. The US, the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Yeah. A lot of big stuff happening, moving sponsorships. I think everyone kind of knows most of them.
Yeah.
You want to give a little rundown through the ones you know? I'll add some if you miss some.
Yeah. All right. The big talk. All right. Everybody knows about this. Simon Lizotte. I'm just going to throw it out there. Yeah. This happened a while ago now. Everyone's processed it, but this is, from my point of view, the main move of the season. Like this is big stuff. Simon Lizotte leaves Discmania and makes his way over to MVP Disc Sports. What do you think?
This is my way I think of it. He's got a kid. He's got a family. He's in it for the money. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I mean, he's been with Discmania for like 10 years, so I guess a change-up's good, but after having such a good season with Discmania, you'd think they'd try and keep him and have another good year. But yeah, I'm not sure how he's going to play. I think he's struggling with his distance driver slots a lot since his videos. But yeah, I'm not sure. What's your take on it?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's a big thing for him. He watched all those videos. You know, he said he's had a lot of chats to everyone. He's chatted to his wife. He's chatted to Eagle, and no, he spoke to everyone about it, and he's made sure he's made the right choice. And no, massive switch, but as you said, getting used to the discs. He's still learning the discs. You watch all his videos, he's not even sure what he's throwing half the time. But no, he's excited, which is good. He's not totally devastated about leaving Discmania, because that's just Simon's origin. He is the Discmania crush boy. But going to MVP, obviously MVP's had a massive rise over the last couple of years. After Conrad, the holy shot at Worlds in 2021, and now they've signed Simon. Obviously, they have a lot of players on their team of high caliber, but Simon Lizotte, that's huge. One of the biggest names in disc golf. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else?
Well, another major one. Anthony Brella left Innova after about 10 years to Discraft. That's probably purely because his best mate Adam James. He seems to be doing fine there. He didn't have a good Shelley Sharp, or I think it was like the Big Arms Challenge at the Vista del Camino XL course. But then he won Maricopa Open. Take that out. That was good. He seems comfortable with his bag and all the YouTube videos Discraft put out. Speaking of Discraft, they also got a good FPO team now, having Missy and Paige already. They've added Alexis Mandahanu's sister, Valerie, and she's on the elite team. Same with Holland Handley. 2 up-and-comers. Valerie won twice on the Pro Tour last year. And yeah, that would be good to see. That's for the Discraft. Anyone else? You got
well, on the you were talking about AB. I watched his In the Bag this morning.
Yeah.
He's loving his new discs. He's excited. I think we're gonna see. Obviously, AB is still young. Absolutely smashes the disc. I think we're gonna see some big things from him this year. So throughout the season, tipping him for these wins, I don't think is a bad bid, because he'll be up there this season. Yeah, and as you said, Discraft. He's got everything going on. There's been heaps of players actually that have signed with Lone Star Discs.
Lone Star.
You might need to help me out here.
I know all of them, yeah.
But obviously Lone Star they've signed Chandler Kramer, who had a standout performance. He had a standout performance at the European Open last year. Up on that lead card with the big names.
We've
Robert
got
Burridge.
Nico. Yeah, Nico and Robert.
Yeah, I'll let you talk about
Yeah,
Lone Star.
I'll run through it. All right. Yeah, Nico, after his little incident, I think it was a cheap buy for Lone Star. He needed somewhere to go. Jumped on Lone Star. Robert Burridge had a good breakout at the one in Iowa. I forgot what it's called, at Pickard Park. Des Moines Challenge, yeah.
That's the one.
It's Deanne Carey and Alex Carey have gone to Lone Star as well. And Emerson Keith is the biggest one, I think, the biggest name, leaving Latitude. And yeah, that Lone Star is making some moves. And I mean, they got so many molds. I think there's also, it might be, that might be something else. I think I was going to say Hooligan discs as like Lone Star discs as well. But yeah, I mean, they seem comfortable with it. It's not a big brand, but they all seem quite comfortable with what they're throwing.
Yeah. Lastly, for sponsorships, I think I think we got to mention this. The news came in this morning. This is big. I wouldn't say it's quite Simon Lizotte level, but this is definitely a massive stepping stone in his player's career. Young player, massive standout last year, from the start of last season. Gannon Burr, who was representing Team Prodigy, announced that he is leaving. That was this morning. Woke up to all the notifications, and Gannon Burr has left Prodigy. Of course, he hasn't stated who he's moving to, but have you got any predictions?
Originally, I said Lone Star. Don't think that's going to happen. I have Dynamic Discs. They need another big guy. They only have Ricky right now. Kona's not holding her weight in the FPO field. They got money selling Ricky discs. I think either DD, the Trilogy brands, or Innova. Just because, I mean, the Innova team's still good. It's dying a little. I don't know. Him winning USDGC in an Innova sponsored event could have some ties with that. They offered him. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah. No, I don't think they're bad calls at all. What if I was to say where I think he's going? I wouldn't say Discraft. Discraft just signed a whole bunch of players. I think you can't really have a team that's just overly powered among everybody. I mean, Discraft probably is at the moment, but yeah, you always got to have the spread of players. Gannon Burr, I've been hearing like this isn't, I wouldn't have predicted this, but I've been seeing it everywhere. Gannon Burr to Disc Mania, sort of like the Simon to MVP. Everybody sort of knew before he moved, and yeah, some people leaked it out there. And yeah, with Simon leaving Disc Mania, obviously they have Eagle, Kyle, Casey White. They have a whole bunch, Ella Hansen. They have a whole bunch of players that know how to play pretty good disc golf, but I'm sure.
I think they also signed Gavin. They got Gavin Babcock.
Yeah, that's the one.
I remember.
But I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna say you said Trilogy family. I'm gonna be a bit more specific. I'm gonna go lat 64 for Gannon Burr. But as you said, Innova's not a bad call. Innova do need probably another big dog in there. So Gannon to Innova, and as you said, with the USDGC, you never know. There could be some links going on there. But no, I think it'll be exciting to see where he goes. And it was a very late announcement compared to everyone else. So.
You know, I'm hoping he comes to Innova, but you know, we'll see. Get another teammate on board.
Yeah.
Best team to be on.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, mate.
Disc Golf Pro Tour. This weekend is the DGPT All-Stars weekend. 17th to 19th of February in Tucson, Arizona at Poosh Ridge Temp Course at a resort. And I believe it's the same place as last year where Nico had like a 450-foot skip ace. That was pretty insane. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. It'll be everywhere.
He lost himself. He was happy with himself after that. Very, very happy.
Yep. Obviously, the Disc Golf Pro Tour released the draft, and team captains are Paul Macbeth and Ricky Wysocki. Would you like me to read out the teams?
Yeah, go on. I know about most of them. But
yeah, I'll just quickly say, I'll read this off Disc Golf Pro Tour. The Disc Golf Pro Tour is taking a team approach following a modified Ryder Cup format where each division will be split into 2 teams. Each team will have a total of 6 players, including captains. And what they're doing is, so there's going to be different challenges. There's going to be a distance challenge, an accuracy challenge, and a putting challenge. And Paul and Ricky have selected their teams from the 2022 Tour players. I'll read them out. On team Ricky Wysocki in the putting, we have Ricky himself and Gannon Burr. Wonder what putters Gannon's going to be using.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get on those KC Pro AVRs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With distance, we have Simon Lizotte and Kyle Klein. A couple of, I was going to say Discmania bombers, but one Discmania bomber and one MVP bomber. We'll see if Simon can get onto one with his new gyroplastic. And in the accuracy,
fission
photons.
tantrums out there.
Tantrums.
Yeah.
And accuracy, we have James Conrad and Matty O. Both players know how to lace those lines with the backhand. I think especially James Conrad, he's going to be handy. He's got that point and shoot backhand, and Matty O's just got that nice smooth
air bounce.
Roll Tide.
Yeah.
Team Paul Macbeth. In accuracy, we have Paul Macbeth himself and Joel Freeman. You can never go wrong with Paul Macbeth, the 6-time world champ. He's got his game. Distance, we have
Joel Freeman in accuracy. What are we thinking about that?
Well, I haven't seen too much of Joel play. I know who he is. I know what he does. I've seen him play, but I don't know his game too well that I could really make a fair prediction on that. What do you think?
I think he puts a move on the disc more than he does accuracy, because I know Kevin Jones is in the distance. Kevin throws far, but I think for the sake of it, I'd switch them around.
Yeah, I think that's a fair call. Kevin knows how to hit his lines. If you don't believe me, go check out his hole 15 at Maple Hill. The flip over race, 500 feet. That's still just gives me chills every time I watch it. It just doesn't go away. You just open Instagram and it's right there, you know. Always getting reposted. But yeah, as you said, in distance, we have Kevin Jones and Calvin Heimberg. Calvin, no doubt, throwing his new Halo destroyers. And just effortless, just that long wingspan, and gets a lot of snap, and he's throwing far. And in putting, I don't think you can go wrong with these two. We have Chris Dickerson and Isaac Robinson. Firstly, I'd like to say Isaac Robinson. My prediction, he is the best putter from 40 feet in the world.
Just outside circle, yeah.
Just outside circle, Isaac Robinson's not missing.
I'm not putting anything past Chris Dickerson. He is an insane putter. I wanted to see. This is also what I wanted. Chris Dickerson, in my opinion, is the best gap woods hitter in the world. I wanted to see Chris Dickerson in the accuracy and Paul Macbeth in the putting.
Yeah, I think that would be fair. Paul Macbeth is known for his clutch putts. Obviously, he can throw very well, but then Chris Dickerson, we saw that accuracy get displayed at the Champions Cup last year, taking that major down. Second major for Chris Dickerson.
He's won a USDGC.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So who's winning? Paul versus Ricky.
I want to say Paul. I'm gonna say Ricky.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just gonna be that other guy. I'm going Team Paul. Back in the champ. It's both teams absolutely stacked. It could go either way. You know, it's pretty top caliber players.
I think Ricky's. It's like him and Ricky and Gannon are not going to lose the putting. They're like the two best putters in the world anyway. So I think Matty O is he's like, everyone knows him for hitting gaps, but he's a dark horse, and so is James Conrad. They're both purists. And I forgot who the distance guys were, but who do we have in distance again?
That was Simon and Kyle.
Yeah, well, like Kyle's sneaky far, and Simon's he's got gyro in it. Gyro technology goes further.
Yeah.
They're my reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be good to watch.
It's
That'll
like dead
be
even,
you'll be able to watch that on Disc Golf Network, I believe. When you pay your subscription for that, I don't think there'll be post round or like post event coverage of anything, but
There'll probably just be the live stream on YouTube.
Yeah.
I normally do.
Yeah. Well, that's all I've got here for the US and Disc Golf Pro Tour scene at the moment. Obviously, throughout the season, we can touch base and make more predictions for each event. Hopefully, weekly or fortnightly episodes of predictions, or say if there's a big event coming up or something. No, but that's all I've got. Have you got anything else to add?
Not US. I mean, if we're on the line of sponsorships, if we may as well. I mean, there's been some moving in the Australian scene. We've got Cassie, Innova to DD. Is there really ever been another big name company switch? I mean, myself, I've moved from RPM Discs to Innova.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Like to say that.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, there's not really been any other big moves. I mean, the Cassie one's been really big. There's a couple other just new sponsors. I guess the Aces, Flying Aces, have come up and picked up a bunch of people. Disc Golf Warehouse have picked up a couple people as well. Just some sneaky good talent there. The Disconnection team's expanding. There's a bunch of good teams, and the Heiser Flight team. Yeah, expanding.
And I'm excited to be representing again the Heiser Flight Oz Discs combo. As I said before, use code Blake23 to get 5% off your order at Oz Discs. Quick little plug there. I'm excited to get out on the course and rep Heiser Flight and Oz Discs for the season.
I mean, if it starts to become something, I mean, we're going to want to do some. We take a bit of inspiration from shout them out, the Tee Off podcast, the Australian podcast. Got a good little lineup there. Like they're doing a Dream 18. We do some stuff like that. Maybe make a little tier list, biggest guys in Oz. I had another thing I kind of forgot. But yeah, all just stuff like that. You put some polls out on Instagram, get some stuff around it, try and get it a bit bigger, have a little chat.
Yeah. Make sure to subscribe to the Blake House and Disc Golf YouTube channel. Obviously, this will be posted on there. Lots of videos coming out throughout the season to get your Aussie disc golf content. There absolutely isn't enough. There's a couple of guys who've started that up. There's Josh Morrison and Disc Golf Justice. Shout outs to them. I'm sure there's more as well.
Carrot Steel has a channel. Carrot Disc Golf.
Yeah, no, there's a few now, but I think that disc golf in Australia is taking off, and seeing all these YouTube channels pop up, and I at least want to do a video every week, and this sort of outside circle podcast thing as well. I'd like to have just casual competition, little battles. I think I might miss a couple of events this season to film them. Haven't really shared that yet, but I think that's a big announcement. I'm looking forward to that. I think people enjoyed the Chichester Summer League coverage. Yeah, if you haven't seen that, make sure to go check it out. I think this season, in terms of content, when I can, I'll try to get some stuff out and get some things up and running.
Sweet. Yeah. And also along the lines of this podcast, we might get some interviews on, some people talk about their sponsorships and stuff. So yeah, first episode, a little bit longer this one, but try and shorten that up with some quick fire recaps next time.
All right, guys, thank you for watching, listening, whatever you've been doing. If you've stayed this long, then thank you very much for having a listen. Make sure to tune in for upcoming weeks, because we're not going anywhere. We'll be here to talk about some disc golf. Thank you, everyone.